NBC.
Good evening. Welcome again. Tonight, two very special guests, two of the greatest baseball players in history. They both played for the New York Yankees. They both are best-selling authors. His book, Few and Chosen, Defining Yankee Greatness Across the Eras, number 16, Southpaw Whitey Ford, and his battery mate, the greatest catcher in Yankee history, Yogi Berra. His book, When You Come to a Fork in the Road, Take It, number 8, Yogi Berra. Ford and Berra together again.
Tim, thanks for having us.
How long have you known each other, Whitey?
I got out of high school in New York City here in 1946, signed with the Yankees in September. I went to the stadium and signed. It was Yogi Berra's very first game with the Yankees, late September. He was just called up from Newark, I think, right. And I saw him hit his first home run.
Now, he was Larry Berra. You were
Eddie Ford.
Eddie Ford.
That's how we were introduced.
That's how you were introduced. Yeah. Larry meet Eddie.
Larry meet Eddie.
Now, we know why you're Yogi, because you used to sit there on your knees during American Legion baseball. It looked like a yoga, correct?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Lefty Gomez nicknamed you Whitey.
Yeah, I think so. My wife, people ask me that, and I thought Lefty Gomez. My wife disagrees. She said they would call me Whitey when I grew up in Astoria, but I didn't remember that too much. But I still stick with Lefty Gomez.
Now, number 7, Mickey Mantle called you Slick.
Slick.
What was that all about?
Well, Casey Stengel, when we would stay out late once in a while, you know, it was actually Whiskey Slick. So,
Whitey, how often did you stay out late?
Well, never before I pitched the game. Never a night before.
So
I
every
pitched the game.
3 out of 4 days.
And that used to get Mantle mad because he had to play every day, and I only had to pitch every 4th day. So.
You know, Tim, he got away with a lot, though. You know, when we did go out, you know, nobody knew Whitey. I'm not kidding you. We go out to dinner and everything. These guys are drinking up pretty good. Well, I drank a little too, but they say, "Who's this guy next to it?" You know, they say Whitey Ford. They figured he had white hair, but he didn't. He had a blonde hair. He's white now, but he didn't get recognized that quick. It's the truth.
Now, one of the things I read in Whitey's terrific book, Few and Chosen, was that you were roommates.
Not for long.
And that was my doing.
This is the original Odd Couple. Yogi, what time did you wake up in the morning?
About 6 in the morning, 6:30.
And what time did Whitey wake up?
Whitey, we had a day game in Chicago. I woke him up. He says I didn't wake him up, but I did. I said, I'm going down, Whitey, and I'm going to the ballpark, so get up. And he overslept.
He overslept?
Lie, Yogi, lie. He gets up at 6:30 in the morning. I said, wake me up for breakfast. He never came back to the room. Red Patterson woke me up at noon for a 1 o'clock game. I was pitching. I got to the park at 20 to 1, and guys like Bauer and Houck are looking at me. I'm a rookie with the club 1 month. They said, don't fool with our money, kid. Meaning the World Series.
The playoff money in the World Series money, which was a big deal.
Thank God I won that game. I beat the White Sox with getting to the park 20 minutes before the game. But
now, Whitey, the first time we met, we were talking about Yogi Berra and Yogi Berraisms. And you said, let me tell you the 4-ball story. With the Chicago White Sox, right? Tell America, Yogi Berra and the 4-ball story.
The White Sox came into the Yankee Stadium in '59, and I was pitching against them, and they took my 8 warm-up pitches. They played the national anthem, and up comes Louis Aparicio. The first pitch I throw to him, he bunts down third, beats it out. 1 pitch, man on first. Nellie Fox gets up, first pitch, double down left field line. 2 pitches, second and third. Minnie Minoso, I threw him a really good curveball, but it hit him in the kneecap. So he walks down to first. Now I've thrown 3 pitches.
And the bases are loaded.
Bases are loaded. And up come Ted Kluszewski, who made his fame with Cincinnati, but he was with the White Sox. First pitch, high fastball off the right center field wall. 3-run score. I've thrown 4 pitches. Casey comes out to the mound. Yogi doesn't want to miss that, so he gets out there. And Casey says to Yogi, does Ford have anything tonight? And Yogi says, how the hell do I know? I haven't caught a pitch yet.
Well, I didn't.
Well, Yogi.
He wasn't lying.
Yogi, where does this stuff come from?
I don't know. It just comes out, Tim.
When you come to a fork in the road, take it?
Right. That's where I live, on Highland Avenue. And that's where the fork comes in.
And if I ask you right now, what time is it?
Now?
Of course now. Yeah, your wife, Carmen, said, Yogi, you were born in St. Louis. You played for New York. You live in New Jersey. God forbid you die. Where do you want to be buried?
Anywhere.
You said, surprise me.
Yes, surprise me.
Yogi, Whitey, what was it like rooming with this guy?
I enjoyed room. It was short, but we got along good, except...
But he'd get up at 6 a.m.
He got up a little too early for me.
Make some noise?
Yeah. Oh, I snuck in. I snuck in one night about midnight, and I didn't turn no lights on. I'm tripping over furniture, trying to get to the bathroom to take my clothes off to get to bed, and I bang my toes, and I finally sneak into bed, put the covers over me, and he turns the light on after me.
Well, Yogi, you'd get up at 6 o'clock, go have breakfast, right?
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah.
He's still trying to sleep. You'd wake him up, and then you'd go back to sleep.
I would. If it's a night game, I do. I always took a nap in the afternoon, Tim. I always did, about an hour. I wait till the afternoon paper come out. I go up and read and then take a little nap.
You took a few naps during the game, too.
Oh, not that many. No.
Yo, you tried to get kicked out of a game intentionally one day, a very hot...
Oh, yeah, that was in Boston.
Yeah.
It was a hot day. Cal Hubbard behind the plate. And, it was in about the seventh inning. We're leading by a big score, and I'm trying to get thrown out of the game. And he said, Yogi, you can call me anything you want. If I'm staying out here, you're staying out here.
So you cussed the umpire, he wouldn't throw you out.
No, he wouldn't.
Hot and sweaty out there, huh?
Sweaty.
We're going to come back and talk a whole lot more about both your books. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. And Whitey Ford's book, Few and Chosen, Defining Yankee Greatness Across the Eras. Yogi Berra, you were picked as the best catcher in Yankee history by Whitey Ford. He also picks people at various positions. We're going to go back and talk about all that. Number 16, Whitey Ford. Number 8, Yogi Berra. Two great guys. Back right after this.
There's some familiar faces here, but none more beloved than Yogi Berra. Yogi's been an inspiration to me. Not only because of his baseball skills, but of course for the enduring mark he left on the English language. Some of the press corps here even think he might be my speechwriter.
First picture was a young Whitey Ford, 1950. And second, 1962, the Cy Young Award for extraordinary pitching performance. Whitey, when you entered the major leagues, there was a bidding contest for you. $7,000 bonus. The Red Sox, the New York Giants, the New York Yankees.
Right.
What if the Red Sox had offered you $7,500?
I would have told the Yankees, but I would have still signed with the Yankees.
You could never be a Red Sox.
Never.
Yankee in your bones, huh?
I went to my first game. I was 11 years old, I think, in 1939, and I've been a Yankee fan ever since. So, no, I wouldn't have signed with anybody else.
The treat of my youth was every May, my dad would pack up the station wagon in Buffalo, the green station wagon, drive to Cleveland, and we watch a Yankee doubleheader. And you often pitched one of those games. You'd pitch 9 innings. I mean, a full game. There were no relievers. You'd go out there and throw 9 innings. Your pitch count, it had to be 150 pitches.
Well, no, not many, because they usually, I didn't get many guys swinging and missing when I pitched. I try to let them hit the ball, but it sounds crazy, but I really didn't throw many pitches. In a good game, I'd throw maybe 100.
Really?
Yeah. But
you let them hit?
Yeah. And we tried to pitch 9 innings, really, because our salary for the next year depended on what we did that year. You know, it was none of this 5-year contract, so we try and finish every game, try and win as many games as we can.
Almost like piecework. If you pitched 9 innings, you got paid the next year because of that performance.
And we had great teamwork because everybody on that team was waiting to get that World Series share because they could all use it. So I think we were a great team as players getting along with each other.
What's the highest salary you ever made?
I made $78,000.
So the money you won in the playoffs and the World Series, that's real money.
Well, my first year, I was only there half a year. I joined the team from Kansas City in the Mariners July 1st. I got $2,500 for 3 months. So my World Series cut was $5,500. The players were nice enough to give me a full share. So that was double my salary for the year. So,
Yogi, that World Series money meant a lot to Carmen, didn't it, your wife?
Oh, well, not in 47. Not in 1947. I wasn't married yet.
Oh, she hadn't fell in love. This was at the restaurant.
I met her after the 47.
At the restaurant in St. Louis?
St. Louis, yeah.
And she said she used to date tall, dark, debonair Clark Gable types, and then walked Yogi. Huh?
But she thought, I asked for a date, she thought I was Terry Moore. She said, I don't go out with married men, she said. She thought I was married. And she thought that I was Terry Moore.
Uh-huh.
And I actually asked Biggie, the owner of the restaurant,
to introduce you.
They introduced me to ask if she wanted to go out with me, you know.
But that World Series check was important to a player.
$5,000.
That meant a lot.
Yeah, that's what my base salary was, $5,000.
In Whitey's book, he says that you're the best catcher in the history of the Yankees. Bill Dickey is second, Thurman Munson, Elston Howard, and Jorge Posada, the current pitcher. That's a pretty nice honor.
Well, it was a great honor. Don't forget, we had some pretty good pitchers when I came over there. You had Whitey, you had Reynolds, Rashi, Lopat, Turley filled in after. We had a few quiet Cooks pitched a good game for it. We always seemed to get a guy that come in and pretty good. I like what Casey Stowe used to do, like in spring training. You know, and Bob Grimm, he won 20 games his rookie year. And he come from A-ball or double-A ball.
Double-A, yeah.
Same way with Cooks.
Right.
But Yogi, you told me that you used to handle every pitcher differently. And when Whitey pitched, you wanted to get him mad. You wanted to get him angry. You used to poke him and pop him. Why?
Well, we had fun. You could get on him. It didn't matter.
But if he was angry, he was a better pitcher?
The only time I get him angry, the only time he gets me angry, you know, I used to call for a curveball, and he'd throw a slow curve, and I used to say, stick that pitch up your somewhere.
as the ball was going into the stands. Can I tell one quick story?
Whitey, anything you want.
It's two stories, and they're both clean, but I'll just tell the one.
Take your time.
Him and Mickey got in a little fuss about Mickey was second-guessing about the pitches he was calling, and I didn't know about it, but they made a deal. Mickey's in center field calling the pitches to Yogi. If he stood straight up, straight ball, bend over, curve, shake his glove, a changeup. Now, for 7 innings, I'm nothing with somebody, not knowing that Mickey Mantle's giving him the signs. Well, in the 8th inning, we went in to hit. It was in Cleveland. The 8th inning, Mickey, we got nervous now. Nothing. He says, "Okay, Yogi, I got you this far. You're there on your own from now on." We won the game, thank God.
There's a wonderful picture of Whitey Ford and Mickey Mantle, and I want to show it right now. There's number 7, I believe. There he is, standing next to the memorial to Mickey Mantle in Yankee Stadium. Tell me about Mickey Mantle, guys.
Oh, heck. Miss him. I miss him.
You miss him.
You know,
Why do you miss him, Yogi?
He's a great guy. You know, a lot of people didn't know Mickey. Good, kind-hearted guy, too. Very kind-hearted. And we had fun. We really did with Mickey, Whitey, Billy. We went out with anybody. Elston Howard when he was alive. We went out together.
Whitey, you and Mickey and Billy Martin, the three amigos.
Billy just stayed with us to 55 or 6. After that Copa deal, he got traded. They were looking for a reason to get rid of him, so the Copacabana was their excuse. But,
a little fight at the Copacabana.
Yeah. It was, and Billy, you know, we got along, the three of us, very good. But Mickey had such a great sense of humor. Like Yogi said, a rookie'd come on the club. He'd make sure that we took him out for dinner, you know, to feel that he's part of the club. But Mickey had such a great sense of humor. Do I have 30 seconds to
take your time, Whitey?
We're in his restaurant about 10 years ago, and we had having a few drinks, and I don't want this to sound like we drank a lot, but
I think that's a given, Whitey.
We were having a few drinks, and there's a guy sitting with us. He's like a movie director type of guy, and he says, "Mickey, don't you think somebody ought to do a movie about you?" And Mickey said, "No, they never did." But he says, the guy says, "Who would you like to play the different parts in the movie?" So he said, "How about Whitey?" Within 10 seconds, he says, "Paul Williams." You know who Paul Williams is, the little singer?
Yeah.
He's about 5 foot tall,
sure.
about 100 pounds.
Right.
I said, I can't believe this. Then he says, Billy Martin. 10 seconds later, Mickey says, Joe Pesci. I thought it was a great pick. Then he says, Yogi Berra, Danny DeVito.
Not bad.
Then it got, no, how about yourself, Mickey? He says, Nick Nolte.
Oh, sure.
You got 3 5-foot guys.
Right, and the stud. But this is what Mickey Mantle said about Whitey Ford. I don't care what the situation was, how high the stakes were. The bases could be loaded and the pennant riding on every pitch. I never bothered Whitey. He pitched his game. Cool, crafty, nerves of steel.
What was good about him, though, Tim, he'd get any pitch over. That's what was good. He could throw a 3-0 curveball over on a pitch.
You love pressure, didn't you?
I
like pressure.
love World Series, and I love to pitch fast games. Like the whole Yogi and Tony Kubek used to always say they'd love to play behind me because it was rubbing your ball up in 20 seconds between pitches, one pitch after another, and 2-hour game. If it was more than 2 hours, I didn't like it.
You know, when he threw it, like these pitchers take 8 or 9 warm-up, he used to throw 4. 3 fastball curve, let's go.
Throw it down the second and start the inning.
Start the inning.
Take another break. Whitey Ford, his new book, Few and Chosen. Yogi Berra, when you come to the fork in the road, take it. A lot more coming up.
Two out in the ninth, still not a hit. Dale Mitchell is pinch hitting for Magley. He stands between Larson and a perfect game. The tension in the stands is terrific. Here it comes. He strikes him out. The Yanks win a key game 2-0, and Don Larson is baseball's man of the hour. He pitched the first no-hitter in a World Series and the second perfect game in the history of the Major League.
A perfect game, Yogi Berra. You caught it.
Yep, pretty good.
And you gave him the big Berra hug after it was all over, huh?
Well, that's happened. It's never happened in this World Series, Been other no-hitters, but not in the World Series. It's the only one, in fact.
Whitey, did you ever come close to a perfect game?
2 out in the second inning one game. Tim, that same game, Don Larson had the habit of not pitching more than 5 or 6 innings. When he came off the mound in the 5th inning, Jim Turner, our pitching coach, who was a little short in the bullpen, said, Whitey, go down here and warm up every inning that he goes out to the mound. I warmed up the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, and you can't see the pitcher from the old bullpen. So the greatest game pitched in World Series history, I didn't see the last 4 innings.
You never had a no-hitter, did you?
Nope. I had 2 back-to-back one-hitters in 1 week, but never a no-hitter.
Why is it, do you think?
Called the wrong pitch.
Luck.
That was probably most of it.
You called the wrong pitch. Huh?
Yeah.
Now, in your book, Whitey, you talk about Elston Howard, big, tall, strapling catcher who wore a thin glove, and you could hear that pop.
Right.
And the alternative was Yogi Berra behind the plate with a pillow, you said. He said, hold a glove as big as a pillow. And
it sounded like you're throwing a ball into a piece of cotton. and Jim Hegan, our coach, he warmed me up before the game. His glove was the same. I don't throw that hard, but the ball just go bang, bang, and then get in and he's catching poof, poof, and you don't think you have
He's
anything.
not the only one that holler at me. Rashi, Reynolds used to holler. I used to tell them, they don't know how hard you're throwing when you catch that.
But Yogi, he said Elston Howard would crouch right behind that batter, get up close. You'd be back further, and therefore his curveball would go into the ground.
No, that's when I asked for it to go in the ground, baby. But I never did that. I stood close.
How about Jackie Robinson?
We're going to get to Jackie.
Are we?
We're going to get to Jackie.
Okay.
Yogi and I have relived those moments many, many times.
I watched that show that night. I watched that show.
We're going to replay that for all of it. Yogi, what was it like on the road with guys like Whitey and Mickey? All you did was, it sounds like, eat and drink and talk baseball.
We did. Same way. We traveled more by train then, too, Tim. And we had fun on the train.
Playing cards?
Playing cards, play our hearts and everything.
And did someone play a harmonica one time, Whitey?
Well, that was on a bus.
On a bus?
Phil Lentz, yeah.
What happened?
You tell that story. You tell it.
We just lost 4 straight in Chicago and got on the bus, and Yogi was the manager, 64. And Phil Lentz had just gotten the harmonica, and he said back in the back of the bus playing Mary Had a Little Lamb or something. And Yogi hollered back, throw that goddamn thing away. And Phil didn't hear him. And Phil says to Mickey, what did he say? And Mickey says, play louder. He played louder, and Yogi went back and smacked it out of his mouth.
And where's that harmonica today?
In that mighty museum.
In my desk.
Whitey Ford took it.
Well,
He's got it, Yogi.
You got it?
Yep.
Yes.
I got it home.
Well, Phil said he gave it to me to put it in my museum.
No, well, he gave you. I'll give you the real one someday.
I think we got a lot of harmonicas around.
No.
Barry Halper's been trying to get it from me for 20 years.
No kidding.
What kind of manager was Yogi Berra?
Great manager.
Why?
I was his pitching coach for 1 year in '64, and he just went by instinct. He, wasn't, every time there's a man on first and second and a bad hit or a bunt, he'd change. He'd steal, and he'd have you steal, and he just played, I think, the way he'd want to do it.
Smart baseball.
Yeah.
It's a thinking man's game, isn't it, Yogi? You really got to.
Well, a little bit. I think catching helped a lot. Watch the pitchers and everything too. The rest it helps a lot. And,
Did you like managing?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah?
I really did.
But you like playing better?
Oh, yeah, I think everybody likes playing better.
He was a good manager, Tim. He really was.
Who was the toughest pitcher for you to catch?
Well, Tommy Byrne was when he first came up. He threw them curveballs in the dirt. He make you work.
How about Ryan Dern?
Nah, he wasn't that hard. Ron did that on purpose.
He did?
Yeah.
Almost hit the guy in the on-deck circle.
Throwing up in the screen, his warm-up pitches.
The Christie's auction house auctioned off his glasses, those thick Coke-rimmed glasses.
They're thick.
But you think that was all?
Yeah, that was all.
All a gimmick.
Yogi thinks he was the fastest pitcher he
for
ever caught.
For an inning, yeah.
Ryan Dern.
So.
But you don't think he had better control than he let on?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot more to talk about inside New York.
He didn't. He was wild, but when he come up, when he got control, he was pretty good.
Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford, and a surprise guest right after this. Back talking to two New York Yankee greats. Number 16, Whitey Ford, his new book, Few and Chosen, Defining Yankee Greatness Across the Eras. And number 8, Yogi Berra. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. Philosopher, author, and holy cow. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, number 10, Phil Rizzuto, the Scooter, coming in to tell the truth.
Uncle Barry's telling those lines out there on the back there. I couldn't believe it.
Scooter, sit down. Here we go. Now we got a truth teller.
I tripped over Yogi's wallet.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
How did they find you?
This Uncle Barry found me. I don't know he did it.
Scooter, watch out for that bug right there.
No. No, I couldn't believe this.
Now, Scooter, you told me.
Everybody's got a book to plug. I don't have.
Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, holy cow!
Yeah.
A book of poetry.
I know, but that's unbelievable how that guy did that. All the dumb things I said, my core, core. Everybody knows core, my bride. She said, everybody's got a little trapdoor on the back of their head, but yours is wide open all the time. So when you get a thought, it should hesitate there, but not, I got in so much trouble. Remember Bauer wanted to cream me that one time? He made an error, and I was broadcasting.
This is Hank Bauer?
Hank Bauer.
All right. He's a tough
I
guy.
mentioned it a couple of times. So his wife enlarged it, made it worse. And I walk in and he grabs me. And he is strong.
And what did he do to you?
Well, no, finally he let me go. But I'll never forget the line Whitey said about it looked like Hank got hit with a shovel right across the face. Oh, but he's a great man to have on your side.
Now, when Yogi and Whitey and Mickey were all out carousing,
yes,
Phil Rizzuto was
in bed,
on your knees, saying a prayer, getting ready for church the next day.
It's a good thing I didn't go out there. It would have shortened my career.
I was there before we were.
Yes, I know.
Right.
But before you guys came, Joe McCarthy managed had to wear a shirt and a tie. Mm-hmm. No meal money. The guys got meal money, and I can't believe it. They come home with a soup and
they eat in the clubhouse.
That's
But
like a restaurant.
I heard Whitey say he roomed with Yogi. I roomed with him.
Yeah. I had a lot of roomies.
Well, I had to unload him, but I was embarrassed. The guy didn't want to go and say, I can't stay room with him anymore, because he'd come in every night with an arm full of comic books. Right?
Yogi?
Yogi, yeah, and I'd be just about asleep. He'd finish the comic books, and he'd shake me, say, Phil, talk to me. Your voice puts me to sleep. And I often thought about the people I'm doing a game for, how many I put to sleep. But he was great. I mean, he could...
Yogi, Phil Rizzuto, Whitey Ford, talking about you as a roommate. You wake him up.
Well, I had Bobby Brown, too.
Oh, that was a great story. You heard that story.
Let's hear it, Scooter.
Yeah. Yogi was reading the comic books, and Bobby Brown was his roomie at that time. And Yogi says...
He's studying his medical book.
And Yogi says, you tell me about your book, and I'll tell you about my book, how it is.
Let me put name on the table. Joe DiMaggio.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about him, all of you. Go ahead.
Well, if it wasn't for Joe, I might be back in Kansas City. I mean, because my first year with the Yankees, I was taking Frank Corsetti's job, you know, and they were furious, you know. They loved him, and here's this kid from Brooklyn, big nose, and going out there. And for the first 10 days, I didn't get to take batting practice. Because just as I go up to take batting practice, Joe Gordon would say, wait a minute, rookie. He says, I've got to hit his swing. Tommy Henrik would do all the... And I didn't get to hit. Finally, Joe says, listen, if this kid's going to help us this year, win the pennant, which I did, by the way. He says, let's see if he can hit. And that's how I got in to hit. But he has always been my idol. I wrote that book about him. I could...
Whitey Ford, I remember at the Joe DiMaggio's funeral right over here at St. Patrick's Cathedral, Bobby Brown, the doc, got up and said, Joe always got the big hit in the big game.
He did. And, you know, I told you before, 11 years old, my first game, and I was such a Joe DiMaggio fan then. And just 10 years later, I'm out there pitching, and my center fielder is Joe DiMaggio. And I only had the privilege of playing with him for half a year, but I'll never forget it.
What was it like to have DiMaggio in center field for you?
Well, this was the end of his career, and when I joined the Yankees from Kansas City, he was hitting about 230, and he must have hit 390 the rest of the year, because he ended up hitting 300 for the season in 1950.
Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio.
Most valuable player, 1950.
Thank you very much.
Three most valuable players.
Well, I played with Joe for 5 years. He was a great ball. Never did anything wrong. He was a great ball player. And what can you say about him? Doggone it, like Phil said, the guy who wrote that book, wrote him wrong. And we went out with him. Phil, you know that. Go to dinner with him. He was a loner a little bit.
Oh, he
was a loner.
But you told me that one time that you had dinner with Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe.
Monroe down in Florida, spring training. Well, Moose Garrett even came with
Oh,
me.
yeah?
Well, that must have been tough for somebody to find a check. Then that
Poor Marilyn had to pay, huh?
Joe DiMaggio and Scarrett, one of the wives must have. Marilyn probably paid for it.
What was it like talking to Marilyn Monroe throughout an evening,
It
Yogi?
was very nice. It was real good.
Was she overwhelmed by your charm and your suaveness?
Not bad.
Scooter, Whitey Ford's book, Few and Chosen, he has Yogi as the best catcher. First base, he has Lou Gehrig. You agree?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Second base, Tony Lazzari over Joe Gordon.
Yep.
Bobby Richardson third. Shortstop, Derek Jeter.
I know that Huckleberry, he did the right thing, but he came over to me and he apologized. He said, I'm sorry I had
to talk to you.
No, I would do the same thing. I mean,
But he's got Scooter Rizzuto second. Second
is that right?
base. Oh, yeah, and he writes wonderful things about you.
Oh, yeah?
But he gives Derek the nod.
By the way, I didn't get that book.
That's yours. That's your copy. That's your copy.
Third, Yogi, third base, Greg Nettles, first.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Red Wolf?
You got to go with
Clete Boyer.
Yeah.
You like Clete Boyer?
I like Clete Boyer.
Yeah, Boyer was...
We're going to get back to the outfield as well. We're right back, Few and Chosen, Whitey
Well, I
Ford.
didn't see Billy Johnson much either.
When you come to Ford Road, take it. Oh, holy cow.
350 home.
Ford, Berra, Rizzuto, a lot more coming up. Who knows what's going to happen?
The pitch, and Jackie Robinson on third streaks in to steal home. Safe, says umpire Summers, and the rhubarb is on. Yank catcher Yogi Berra and a war dance over the decision.
That much either.
No, I know it.
Yogi,
Never.
Jackie Robinson stole.
Out.
No.
What do you mean he was out?
Out.
Wait.
Can you play that again?
Wait. Yogi, the umpire, Bill Summers, distinguished umpire, said Jackie Robinson was safe.
I know he did, but he was still out.
You didn't put the glove down.
Yes, I did.
Whitey, you were pitching. You were pitching this game.
Bill Summers was 5 feet behind home plate. He couldn't even see it, and he's about this tall. He had no idea.
Now, you know what Yogi says? Jackie Robinson stole home on Whitey Ford.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
And it was a dumb play anyhow.
All right,
It really
Scooter,
was.
you were at shortstop.
He couldn't see that.
Wait a
far.
minute.
No.
Settle it.
He's safe. I could see the play. What happened was Yogi didn't get the glove down on the ground.
Oh, come on.
Cressetti's rule all the time. That's why shortstops are the smartest ball players on any team. Because they listen. You get the glove, it's got to touch the ground, yo. You know
Well, what
that.
about that play on Stanky when they kicked the ball out of your glove there?
We lost the game. Wait a minute. How about the throw Yogi gives me this Huckleberry? Poor Bevins is pitching a no-hitter.
Yeah,
When he's pitching a
47.
no-hitter, and they put John Frito in the run, and Yogi throws me he had little fingers. He throws sliders and sinkers. He threw one. I had to jump up and get it. I still tagged him out. Umpire called him safe.
That was my first year, though, 47.
No, never mind. The first you're supposed to be ready when you come to the Yankees. and then Lavichetto hits the base hit, and we lose the game.
Now, Whitey, set the stage for the Jackie Robinson steal. What was the score?
4-2.
4-2 Yankees.
Yes. 2 out.
2 outs.
And he's on third. Big right-handed hitter up. Could hit a home run and tie the score. Now, if Jackie Robinson was out, or called out, which he should have been,
Inning over.
innings over. He's the GOAT. But the papers never mention that. I can't think of this big right-handed hitter. Don Keller.
Yeah, Don Keller. The
So
right-hand.
you don't think it was a smart play to try to steal?
No.
But he did.
He stole, but
He still was out.
he still was out.
What do you mean, Yogi? You want to see the tape? You want to see the tape again?
Yes.
All right, one more time.
Still.
One more time.
Watch what the umpire is.
All right,
too.
let's roll it, guys. They want to see it.
There's no way.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at
Your glove is up in the air.
Glove is up in the air.
Look at the umpire. Look at the umpire. He's 10 feet away.
He is.
Yogi, your glove is up here.
Your
No.
shit's down below.
Oh, you hear what he said?
What?
I'm not going to repeat
I
it.
don't agree.
What do you say, Scooter?
No, I can't. Not on television.
What did he say?
No, I'm not
I
going
didn't
to
say that.
This is cable. Huh?
No.
Whitey, what do you think? Could Yogi have put his glove down a little bit lower?
No, he had it right there on the
Where
ground.
am I going to put it? Under the ground?
Wait,
I didn't know you were on the mound that day.
Yeah, see that?
but Yogi, here you are telling me that he was out, okay?
He was.
But you're the same guy who sees a Steve McQueen movie,
Yeah.
and he says, "Boy, McQueen looks really good in this movie. He must have made it before he died."
Yeah.
All right, what am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
I won't go to his funeral if he doesn't go to mine?
Yeah.
Or Whitey, my favorite. Oh, and by the way, Whitey Ford has a new restaurant on Long Island.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You're coming to the opening next month.
Big steaks,
thank
right,
you.
Whitey?
Yeah,
Best steak in New York.
But Yogi goes into a pizzeria, and they say, "Yogi, you want your pizza cut in 6 or 8 slices?" He says, 6, I can't eat 8. Huh?
Tell me who played the most prank on you on the field. Pete Suter.
Oh,
Tell me
Pete
what you used to
Suter
do
and
to your glove.
Nellie Fox. They put worms in my glove. A snake one time. During the World Series, I could have run right, but the doors were locked in Ebbets Field. And I put the glove, and the snake came out over my hand, and I just took off the
Scooter, you have a phobia about insects, don't you?
insects,
Rats?
anything that. Oh, no, yeah, don't mention them.
Little tiny mice?
Oh, jeez.
What about the lobster John Lindell put in the bunk?
Oh,
in
yeah,
the-
Johnny
in the-
Lindell, he
on the
was-
trade.
I mean, not only did he put a lobster in there, they used to short sheet me half the time. You ever been short sheeted?
Explain it. Explain it.
How they did it, I don't know. And I'm a little guy, and I'm trying to get my foot down, and they had tied it over or something. They put frogs in one night. And then, wait a minute, when I was a rookie,
Yeah.
Joe Gordon used to nail my spike shoes to the floor. I'd come in, all the envelopes I got were torn up. You know, I wanted to cry, but I got to say, I can't cry in front of you. Remember that great movie with Tom Hanks? You can't cry in baseball.
Well, wait. Yogi Berra is quoted as saying, and Whitey, you'll love this, all pitchers are liars or crybabies.
Oh, no, he said that.
I got it right here. I got it right there. Whitey, all pitchers are liars or crybabies, says Yogi Berra.
Well, I've made my last trip to the museum.
Yogi, why would you say that?
I didn't say that.
It's right here. It's documented.
Oh, no.
You said everything you said.
I'm not getting on Whitey, but you know what Ted Williams said? Pitchers are the dumbest of all ball players. Pitchers. I don't know why he said that. But
Whitey hit 220 off of me.
Whitey, what's the toughest position to play in baseball?
Catcher.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
They're squatting and calling pitches. I mean, the whole game depends if they call the right pitches. But physically, I think it's
isn't good pitching the most important thing to a baseball team?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. You can't win with good hitting or good catches.
Well, up the middle.
You can win with
up the middle.
What's the most important position on the field?
Shortstop.
Why?
But because you're in every play, you're sort of like the young manager, not quite a manager. Let me tell you about Yogi's fingers. You know,
hold up those 10 fingers. I mean, look at those.
Yeah, but you couldn't see them out at second base. I'm trying to get the sign. He had to paint them, and when night games came on, he had to put paint on his fingers so he could see the sign.
Were you
wearing
white?
And he can't put 3 fingers down like that.
No, that's right. He can't.
He has to do it that way.
Were you wearing fingernail polish back then?
No, they.
Oh, yes, he was.
This over here. No,
He was. Yeah.
over here they put it.
How much fun did you have, Yogi?
I had a lot of fun catching. I really did. You get to talk to everybody there.
You used to drive people crazy, asking them where they're going for dinner, and they used to...
Yeah.
Williams would say to you, Yogi, shut up.
Oh, yeah. He used to tell me, shut up. I had fun with Minosa, throw dirt in the shoe. Yeah. And I had fun. I really did. But I never did that when the pitch was on the way.
When the pitch was on the way, you stopped talking?
No, it wasn't on the way yet. I just talked. I talked to the umpires even a lot of times. But they thought I was arguing.
We're going to take another quick break. A lot more of Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra, and Phil Rizzuto coming up right after this.
Never give up, because it ain't over till it's over. Second, during the years ahead, when you come to the fork in the road, take it. Third, always follow the crowd, because nobody goes there. It's too crowded.
I didn't get that.
Words of wisdom from Dr. Lawrence Berra.
That was at Montclair State University.
Honorary degree, commencement speaker. Now, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra played left field, I believe, occasionally.
Yes, and I didn't like to see him out there.
Why is that, Whitey?
One night in Cleveland, I'm pitching, and I'm leading 2-0 going to the bottom of the ninth. They got 2 men on, 2 out, and the fella hits the ball out to left field. And I knew it wasn't going over the fence, so I was waiting for Yogi to catch it, and I started toward the dugout, thinking I got a 2-0 shutout, and Yogi somehow volleyballs the ball over the fence, and I lose 3-2. And he didn't come back in the dressing room for 20 minutes. The game was
That would
over.
have been one heck of a catch, though, if I caught it.
You should have waited for it to come down.
Yogi, where'd you go for 20 minutes? You stayed in the dugout?
He was afraid to come in the dressing room. They were
Right
going
in
to
my
kill him.
hour, I guess. I don't know. But that was... that would have been a sensational catch if I would have caught it.
That doesn't count.
Sensational.
Were you comfortable in the outfield?
Not bad. K-Line, ask K-Line if I was comfortable.
Al K-Line.
When Detroit come in, were fighting for first place.
Yeah.
I threw him out at second base.
Oh.
He tried to make a double. Then he hit another one down there and didn't go to second base.
Lawrence, why did you let Mazeroski's ball go over the fence? You could have jumped and caught that.
I didn't think it was going over, to tell you the truth.
I didn't either.
Bill Mazeroski, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going over.
End of the series. You were out there.
Yep.
Only time we saw a man will cry in the dressing room.
Oh, tell me about
No
it.
kidding?
That's the only time
In Pittsburgh. First time I ever seen him cry because we lost the game. We really felt bad.
In all your lifetime, all your experience with Mickey Mantle, shed tears this one time.
Yeah. That was the game Tony Kubek got hit in the throat.
Oh, geez,
see, now, if you were playing short, it would have went over your head.
That was Forbes Field. That was a tough infield. Hit him right in the throat.
Yancey was pitching then.
Bobby
Yancey
Shantz.
was pitching.
Whitey, you said the best left fielder in Yankee history, Dave Winfield. Yogi?
Yeah.
Scooter, you agree with that?
No, wait a minute. You've got guys, they're too young. Charlie Keller.
You got Charlie Keller, Roy White, Hank Bauer, Gene Woodland.
I went with guys I played with. I only played with Charlie a half a year.
Yeah.
Center field, Joe DiMaggio over Mickey Mantle.
No question.
No question. That must be a tough one for you, Whitey.
It was, but Mickey used to get down, and I'd say, you're better than DiMaggio. And he'd say, nah, he does so many things better than me. He said, I strike out 1,800 times. He struck out 300. And he knew, he said, he's better than me. So.
And I love this one. Right field, Babe Ruth.
Oh,
Number 2, Reggie Jackson.
oh.
But there's a big opening between first and second.
Not according to Reggie.
Huh? We got 20 seconds. Reggie got in the Hall of Fame, Phil. I don't know if you've heard this. 1 hour after the ceremonies, we were all invited to that party, just Hall of Famers and the presidents, Bill White and Bobby Brown. Reggie sits down with Yogi and I and Bobby Brown and Bill White. And Reggie looks over at Yogi. He's only been in the Hall of Fame an hour. He says, Yogi, I could have played with you guys in the 50s, couldn't I? So Yogi don't answer him. He's, you don't think I could have played in the 50s? Yogi says, you've been about a fifth outfielder. So then he says a few minutes later, and it's hard to keep Reggie quiet too long. 5 minutes later, he says, Whitey, could I have hit you? So I don't answer him because the reaction again. You don't think I could have hit you? I says, Reggie, let me tell you something. Ted Williams hit 215 off me lifetime. What the hell chance would you have to get that? Reggie shut up for 30 minutes.
A record. Number 3, you have Roger Maris.
Oh,
what was it like to be playing with Maris and Mantle?
It was great that
when they were having the home run contest as to who could lead the league, and Roger Maris broke Babe Ruth.
It was fun.
It was fun.
We didn't care who hit the home run. As long as we win them games, boy. The roof for both of them. I wish both of them could hit 61.
Yeah.
But it took a toll on Rogers. Hair falling out, Whitey. He was a nervous guy.
I liked it because all the writers went to Mickey and Roger after the games. Every day. They left Yogi and I alone.
Scooter, have you ever seen such enthusiasm at the ballpark?
No, that was on. And I lost my voice for about 7 days. I called that home run, Maris's home run. I mean, I just screamed so loud, which was probably good for the people. But that was something.
And now we have guys hitting 70 home runs in a year. Is it different? Is the ball different?
Oh, they try to say no. It's worse than a golf ball. I'm telling you, it's so lively, like you could hold it in your hand, and it would like Mexican jumping beans. But I've seen kids, you've seen them, the ball breaks the bat and goes over the fence.
What do you think, Yogi? Is the ball?
Before.
I think it's alive.
It's juiced?
Well, then the fences are shorter now. The new ballparks.
That's right, every park,
The new ballparks they build.
How about you, Whitey? What do you think?
I think the ballparks, and there's a lot of bad pitchers in baseball now, too. You're up to 700 players. You used to have 400. So you got about 150 pitchers in the big leagues that should be maybe in AAA.
Yeah.
Now,
that helps.
Whitey, you said that you never threw a spitball, and then later on you say, well, maybe once or twice when I needed it.
No, I could throw a spitball, but I couldn't control it. So it was good because it was illegal. But toward the end of my career, the very end, I just would sometimes, Elston Howard would get the ball and put a little scratch on it. It would make it sink a little better or something like that. But I was just trying to hang on another year.
Yogi, did you ever mark the ball up or cut the ball up?
Never did.
Never did. No. But when
he didn't throw that, he didn't need it then.
He didn't need it then, but at the end of the career, you had to do it.
Just the last half a year. Elston tried to help, but...
Scooter, thank you so much for being here.
Oh,
thank you for all you've done.
Pleasure.
Being a New York Yankee must be a tremendous honor in one's life, huh?
It is. No, everybody. At one time, everybody wanted to be a Yankee. You go to Notre Dame or root for Joe Louis. That's way back, before you kids were born, probably.
Scooter Rizzuto, Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford. Few and Chosen's Whitey book. When come to a fork in the road, take it. It's Yogi's and oh, holy cow, Phil Rizzuto. What a pleasure. 3 gentlemen, 3 American baseball heroes. Thank you all.
Thank you.
See you next weekend right here on CNBC.